Hey, how's it going, everyone? Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, February 15th. It's NBA betting today. I am My Guy Knows a Guy, and this is the SportX Insights YouTube channel. Another day of NBA action awaits. Not the best day yesterday, but it was chaos all around. I did add only two winners actually on the late live stream, split on my props there, but Scotty Barnes definitely let us down. You know what they say, props. Blowouts kill props, and that's definitely what happened in a couple of spots yesterday. I was able to hedge out of my position with the Bucks in the first half, but today looks like a much more competitive slate in the NBA. I'm actually just going to share a tweet. Give me 1 second, everyone. I'm anticipating tonight's action. Cool, we're done. Yeah, good morning, Steven. Good morning, us Gooners. What's up, Gooners? Yeah, Kroenke, LA Rams, Arsenal, they got that done. Let's see if he invests in the team. Yeah, a lot going on in the sports world today. Champions League round of 16 as well for the soccer crowd. I will be jumping into that after the live stream. But right now, the main focus is the NBA action every single day. Complete chaos, like not complete chaos, but chaos across the board last night. Just want to give everyone, send everyone positive vibes. Hope everyone is feeling great for today. Going to jump into the schedule. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers favored by 1 point on the road against the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks defense has been sliding once again. We see a couple of noteworthy post-game comments after their loss against the Boston Celtics on national TV the other day. It was a pretty tough loss for them because the Hawks seemed to be in control of that game for the first two quarters. But as we know, 4 quarters in basketball, the Celtics defense came through and the Hawks offense actually ground to a halt. Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. But it's an 82 game schedule in the NBA. I try to at least still enjoy the games that I'm watching, but last night definitely was a bit tough in the markets. Let's try to correct our errors today. And all of it is worthless unless you're learning. Unless you're learning while you're watching these games, and try to watch as much action as you can. I know everyone has jobs, everyone has lives, but try to catch up on the highlights and see how these teams actually look. There's one thing with the spreads, and then there's one thing with actually visibly watching the teams. It's completely different, and it can probably help you stack up some wins as well. Just want to say shout out to DeJounte Murray. He did stay under last night. I did add that on the late live stream last night. DeJounte Murray under on his points and Corey Kispert under on his points as well. But Cade Cunningham over his assists definitely let us down. And Scotty Barnes, which ended up being my main play of the day, also let us down as well. But let's fast forward back to today. Everyone. We have the Cavs favored by 1 point against the Atlanta Hawks, 219.5 on the total. In this game, I just don't see how the Hawks are going to be able to defend the pick and roll activity that the Cavs are presenting to teams right now. I know they're coming off of a loss themselves against the 76ers, but Embiid, he's pretty much performing in a dominant fashion against any team. I didn't really knock the Cavs for how they performed late in that game. Now, because they did randomly insert Garland back into the lineup, but looking forward to today's game, I think this team is going to be able to attack the Hawks and outlast them over the course of 4 quarters. I've actually placed a small bet on the Cavs on the money line, but now it's -1. I still like the -1 today to take the Hawks out. There are only so many times where I can give these guys contrarian logic with the Hawks. I'm throwing it out the window with this team. The defense is in shambles. There is a noteworthy comment coming out of their locker room, though, but from Bogdan Bogdanovic saying that, they have to start taking these losses personally. But I really do believe that the Hawks are maybe a step behind some of these other teams that are also fighting for playoff spots in the East, even though the Raptors came off a disappointing loss last night. Teams like the Raptors, teams like the Celtics, I think they're a step behind them last night. 1 second, everyone. Make sure nothing has changed, because yesterday the Giannis news came out right after we finished the live stream. NBA news comes out at different times. And looking at this game, though, we have Bogdan Bogdanovic, game time decision. He's listed as questionable, and John Collins is out for the Hawks. That's according to RotoWire. John Collins has been, he left the game. This guy, they're just going to be a bit thin on the bench as well. A prop that I'm going to be looking at, the market is not available right now. I like to take this player in bounce back spots, shooting threes, is Kevin Love. I think when you look at the way bigs have been able to stretch the floor against the Atlanta Hawks recently, he's primed to have a decent three-point shooting performance. I think Garland will be the engine once again. He's probably going to go over his assist total as well. He's been lacking just a bit since coming back from his injury, but I do think the Cavs will seize control of this game late, and that's just how I see it going. I have a small bet on the Cavs, -1 here. Let's see if the Hawks turn it around. I'm betting against that. I do think we'll get a higher scoring game. A part of my handicap here is that I'm thinking that the Cavs offense will have a much better performance than what we saw against the Philadelphia 76ers. As we know, the Cavs cooled down a bit since being the Cinderella team, the darling betting team that they were about a month ago. But I still think that this team with Jared Allen, he was just named to the All-Star game as a replacement as well. I think he is poised to have a big game tonight as well. Didn't touch his props today, but they're just going to be a bit too much for these guys because they don't look engaged to me. Capella, I don't know why, but just watching his game right now, Capella just looks a half step behind the Capella that we're used to seeing from the very beginning of the season and last year during the Eastern Conference Finals run for the Atlanta Hawks. Capella's just, I've downgraded Capella in my mind. Moving on. Another game that should be competitive. The Boston Celtics, as we know, everyone, they're red hot when it comes to actually winning games. They're on a pretty good. They're on the longest active winning streak right now in the NBA. ATS, they're coming off a solid. It connects back to the last game. They're coming off a solid cover against the Atlanta Hawks on national TV on the weekend. Now they're playing the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that has put up a very strong run of performances against the Celtics over the last maybe 2 seasons. We can pull up the head-to-head activity as well in a second. I just looked at it before the live stream started. Now, we know this team in the 76ers has not been the best at home. As you can see, they're only 11-8, 17 ATS so far this season. But I actually like their chances to end the Boston Celtics win streak tonight because Joel Embiid is just such a mismatch for this Celtics team. And with them being a bit shorthanded since the trade and James Harden not making his debut yet, I really think that they're going to lean on a strong two-man game tonight between Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. I rarely bet Philadelphia 76ers games, but I'm definitely riding with my bro HK as well on this game. I'm taking the 76ers plus 2.5 at home, and I've also bet the over 210 in this game. When you look at the threat that Joel Embiid poses and look at how often he gets to the free throw line when he meets the Celtics, particularly Robert Williams, who has stepped his game up. The Celtics team has an amazing defense. We've been talking about this team even before their winning streak. I said that they were poised to turn it on, them and the Utah Jazz. You fast forward a couple of weeks, you see that both teams are in the midst of win streaks. The Jazz are a bit less impressive, but the Celtics team, I think their win streak is going to end tonight against the 76ers, and I've also bet the over 210 in this game. So far I have the Cavs, I have the 76ers, and I have the over in the 76ers game. Let's see how it goes. We can pull up some head-to-head activity as well between the 76ers. Similarly constructed rosters. I know the Sixers are going to be a bit short-handed today, but this is a strange team, everyone. This is a very strange team at home when they are short-handed. And by short-handed, I mean the reinforcements from the trade, i.e. James Harden, hasn't been able to make his debut yet because of his hamstring, but he is in practice. We should see James Harden integrated into the lineup going forward, and I'll probably fade the team. I'll probably fade the 76ers when that happens. No lies. We'll probably see some overinflated spreads as they try to get their chemistry together. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how James Harden affects the team in his debut. But looking at this game tonight, I'm calling the Celtics win streak to end and a monster game from Embiid, and I think the game is going to edge over a bit less on the total, everyone, for me, because I do think it's going to be close. But I think 210 is a bit of an over adjustment here. Just got news that Daniel Tice is going to make his Celtics debut. for tonight. He used to play for the Celtics and was traded over from the Houston Rockets for Dennis Schroeder. So a bit more depth at the big position tonight. Let's see how that affects Robert Williams, if he even plays. Al Horford as well. Hey, I appreciate you, Josh. I appreciate you, King Dre, as well. Us Gunnar, Sean, Steven, Mario. Hey, Sosa, what's up? I didn't even see you, dog. What's up? How you feel about the Sixers tonight? How you feel about the pace of the game, too, bro? Look for Maxey to break through on his assist tonight as well, everyone. We're going to see who's able to impose themselves in this game. I said I was going to pull it up, the head-to-head matchup. As you can see, 7 straight ATS covers against the Boston Celtics. The ATS section is right here. And they've won 5 of their last 6 against the Boston Celtics. Similarly constructed rosters. I wish we had the depth that Seth Curry and Andre Drummond would provide. But I'm calling fish in this game. Let's go. Sixers in the over. Jay Money, what's up, bro? Good morning. Sean said, Mr. Smack City. I'm still waiting on you, so let me know about the pace of the game if you're still in the chat, bro. I hope you feel better, Jay. I hope you feel a lot better, bro. It was a long weekend. It was a long weekend. I'm thinking a shorthanded Celtic 76ers team will be able to break through over 4 quarters. Although this Celtics team does really project well going forward into the playoffs, we're going to have a playoff type atmosphere in Philadelphia tonight. And if you're taking the Celtics, more power to you. I'm just sharing my bets, and let's try to keep it going. Last week was pretty good overall, but I'm definitely pretty pissed from the last couple of days. I'm pretty pissed from the last couple of days, everyone. Let's try to get our bread back. Good, bro. Blessings to you, bro. Blessings to you and your family. The James Harden effect. I want to see how high the spread goes when he makes his debut. We might get a Philly special, reverse Philly special when he makes his debut. Let's move on, though. I gave my picks in this game. Sixers, Celtics. We'll move on. I do want to say that I do think that tonight's games will all be very entertaining, everyone. These games will probably be very entertaining tonight, and they have to be after what we saw last night, a complete shit show. I'm going to call it what it is. Complete shit show. Let's move on to this Memphis Grizzlies game against the New Orleans Pelicans. I hope, just based on what I'm seeing, the head-to-head record, this team, I believe the New Orleans Pelicans have covered against the Grizzlies 6 straight times or 5 straight times. I'll put up the head-to-head action first, everyone, because John Morant is questionable. Because he is questionable, and they told us at an early point, though, I want to take the Grizzlies to take these guys out, second night of a back-to-back. But as we said yesterday, it was only a matter of time. These are professional athletes. CJ McCollum had a good run of practices from what I'm reading with the Pelicans. And it came through. It came to fruition yesterday against the Raptors. I hated what I saw as a Raptors fan, but, that team played some pretty good defense. It was a New Orleans special yesterday. Look at the head-to-head record. It is worrying. It is worrying that this Pelicans team has covered 7 straight games against the Memphis Grizzlies. But we have a different look to the team right now. No Josh Hart, a couple of other pieces not in the lineup. I think in other years as well. Derek Favors was there as well. Correct me in the chat, everyone. I'm sure he's in OKC right now. A couple of different pieces. So we have to take this ATS streak with a grain of salt. But I'm inclined to still take the Grizzlies because they told us that Ja is questionable at such an early point. That he might not play. As we know, he had a nagging issue in the last game against the Charlotte Hornets, and the back door was wide open. I'm not going to lie. They just really gave it up. We had a miracle push in that game. And Hell yeah, bro. Let's positivity for everyone. Just catching up on the chat now. Let's see if the back-to-back. I'll pull up the situational trends and see how back-to-backs affect the Pelicans. Let's pull that up as well. But I do want to say that Ja being questionable is already cooked into the line. Okay, it's already cooked into the line because they told us so early. If he does play, the line probably won't jump too much here because this is a strong top-heavy lineup now with the Pelicans, with C.J. McCollum, with Brandon Ingram, with Jonas Valanciunas. They gutted a bit of their depth, but let's see how it goes for today. I've personally decided to put my money in a couple other spots, everyone. So I'm just sharing the data for this one. With Ja being questionable, I'm inclined to still take the Grizzlies because I do think that this is maybe as good as the number we'll get. But the recent run of performance and at home for the Pelicans is scaring me off just a bit. Let's see how it goes here. Let's see how it goes. You can't bet every game, right? You can't bet every game. I was on the Grizzlies and a prop over the weekend, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes today. I'll pull up the ATS streak and the total streak as well. Have to take all this with a grain of salt because we don't know if Ja Morant is playing. I think he's going to play. If you guys don't know, the Memphis Grizzlies are now the most profitable team in the NBA at 39-19. ATS is absolutely ridiculous. Over the last 5 weeks, they've been putting in work. They have overtaken the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then look at them on the road, 21-8. 21-8. There's a case to be made for the Grizzlies. They've covered many games as of late. But they did look very, very, very impressive last night, the New Orleans Pelicans. They did look very impressive. I just don't think the depth is there for the Pelicans, the depth. As we move on into the All-Star break, we're seeing a lot of quotes from guys too. Post-game quotes. A lot of players are complaining about fatigue. We know they're professional athletes. I know a lot of people will tell them to suck it up, but a lot of players just going into the All-Star break are complaining about fatigue. It's starting to become noticeable. Yeah, we're going to get to that game. We're going to get to that game. Yeah, the Suns play tonight. We're going to get to that game. I'm going to speed it up. I'll be here for 13 more minutes max, 30 minutes max. I'll get to that game. So for now, I'll leave it be for the Grizzlies game. I lean towards the Grizzlies because of the strong ATS performance. It's very difficult to bet against, but we're here to tell you what's going to happen, not always what has happened. And for this game, I'm a bit torn just until we get some news on Ja Morant. But don't forget, this team was on a rampage without Ja in the past. It might be a Desmond Bane night. It might be a Jaren Jackson Jr. night. Might be time for them to fly. Let's see how it goes. Desmond Bane, he mobbed out in his last game without Ja Morant. Everyone took his props that day, but this guy has some stellar performances without Ja Morant. Look for the bench of the Memphis Grizzlies to shine. If you're a props player, you can probably find value for some of the role players, the players whose props are usually set at 11.5 and under. It's just like Jay said in the chat. Even if some of the data is telling you to bet against the Grizzlies, how can you bet against these guys? These guys are on course to win a championship like in the next 3 years. Not so much of a hot take either. When you look at the way they're developing their players, this team it's fun to watch too. Can't even hate on the Grizzlies. I think they're good for basketball too. I'll move on to the next game. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This one's for the kids. This one's for the kids. The Hornets and the T-Wolves. And also, everyone hit the like button. We have about 100 people watching right now. Very grateful. And if you guys can hit the like button and subscribe if you're watching on Twitter as well. Subscribe on the YouTube app. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team whose defense is in shambles, against the Charlotte Hornets, another team whose defense is in absolute shambles. A lot of star players in this game, a lot of players that are fun to watch. Let's dive into this one slightly because I'm inclined. I just want to share with everyone that I'm most likely going to have to share props later because I wasn't able to finish my props work in time for the live stream. Today was a very, very, very busy day just in real life before I came on the stream. So either on YouTube or on Twitter, I will share the props that I have for today later on. Just spreads and totals for now. As we can see, T-Wolves -6.5. 244.5. I do want to say that I'm going to place a small bet on the under in this game. I think it's slightly over adjusted. Both of these teams have been shooting lights out, but they've been allowing their opponents to shoot lights out. I think 245, everyone, call me crazy. I think 245 in this NBA environment is a little over adjusted. It's not last year. It's not last year. And 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams went under that mark of 245. They didn't go under the total that was set at that time. But call me crazy. I think 245 is a bit over adjusted, 244.5, depending on the book that you're looking at. But I think with the way the T-Wolves have been playing defense, I won't be surprised if the Hornets win this game outright. I won't be surprised if they win this game outright just because of what this T-Wolves team has been showing me on defense. Now, the Hornets as well, it's not pretty what we're seeing from them, but I did see a couple of flashes in Montrezl Harrell. I do think he's going to be a net positive, and I'm anticipating Montrezl Harrell for the Charlotte Hornets to play many more minutes tonight than he did against the Grizzlies because they need it. They need it. They need that toughness up front. He's undersized. They just have to go small, everyone. They have to go small. With what I saw, this team showed a lot of fight in the fourth quarter. They did not fight. They did not give up until the very end. The T-Wolves cannot take the Hornets lightly. This is a team that's starving for a win. I still have them projected for the play-in tournament, for the Hornets to make the play-in tournament, but this is a very, very big game for them tonight. I feel like the Hornets are going to be slightly more motivated than the T-Wolves tonight. This is not a pretty pick, everyone, but I want to take the Hornets plus 6.5. I have a few other bets, but that's actually just a lean right now. But I did place a small bet on the under in this game. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's probably going to come down to that third quarter, how they come out after halftime. But small bet for me on the under in this game. I'm going to end up running it back. With D'Lo. I still have a sour taste in my mouth from Sunday. I'm going to end up running it back with D'Lo on his assist today, D'Angelo Russell, and I think there's strong value in LaMelo Ball over assists as well. LaMelo Ball is on double-double watch today, as a matter of fact, everyone. He's on double-double watch today. I have to use the last 2 games with Tyrese Halliburton and what Kobe White did to this T-Wolves defense as a sample size. It does not bode well for the T-Wolves tonight, in my opinion. It's tough. The last 2 Hornets games went under, but I think they're going to regress back to the stretch that they showed prior to the last 2 games. As you can see, they had a strong run of underperformance. Their pick and roll defense is improved just a bit. It's the interior defense. That's going to need to shore things up. Very, very scary to take the under in any T-Wolves game, but I placed a small bet on that. Maybe you'll agree with some of my other bets on the live stream, but that it is what it is for now. I like LaMelo over on his assists, D'Angelo Russell over on his assists. I will decide if I bet on both or just one throughout the day. Let's move on. Gotta watch this game. The T-Wolves and the Hornets. 2 more games tonight. One of them, I'm calling it right now. Giannis is questionable. He's playing tonight. I think Giannis is playing tonight. And when he does, they will destroy the Indiana Pacers. First half and full game. I'm going to wait for that news because I really don't want to have the feeling that I had yesterday of having to hedge my bet. But strong lean to the Milwaukee Bucks today if Giannis Antetokounmpo plays. Too much pressure in the paint. These guys have to come out with a professional attitude. You lost to Anthony Simons and Josh Hart yesterday at home. And Ellaby. You lost to Ellaby last night. You have to come out with fire and passion today. Mike Budenholzer made some choice comments after the game last night. If I was to paraphrase what he said it's unacceptable, the performance that they had last night. And I'm going to say that I'm going to agree with Mike Budenholzer. It was unacceptable. They've lost their last 2 games by a combined 39 points, the reigning NBA champions. It's going to give a jolt to this locker room if we can get Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight. They're playing a bottom-tier team in defense. This Pacers team has gone over at such a high rate. It's crazy. Goga Batadze is not ready. If Giannis plays tonight, Goga Batadze is not ready. I will be adding the Bucks. Simple thoughts on this game, and I'm riding with them today in a strong bounce back spot against a team that they have absolutely dominated as of late, a divisional opponent as well. So we have a strong sample size here, a team that they've absolutely dominated. Yeah, I forgot to add that note as well. My bad for not pulling up the head-to-head record. The Hornets have actually defeated the T-Wolves the last 4 meetings, both head up and ATS, but they have different. They were different rosters in those years. The first 2 matchups, LaMelo wasn't there. Only the last 2. So that is a bit telling. It's very difficult to ride with the Hornets. I almost hate this team now. Last game of the day, and I'll get out of here. Going to eat a nice lunch, and I'm going to be covering some of the soccer Champions League round of 16 for the soccer bettors on the SportX Project Twitter page. And if I have a pick for the soccer matches, I have a pick for tomorrow's matches, but I will share a pick for the Champions League round of 16. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. But back to the NBA. Hit the like button as well, everyone. Suns, Clippers. It's smoke. It's smoke tonight in Talking Stick Resort Arena. We hate these guys. Now, let me take this game seriously, though. For me in this one, I believe we're going to have a signature defensive Phoenix Suns performance tonight. It's going to be very difficult for this Clippers team with the roster that they have to get any points in the paint tonight. And I believe it's going to result in a net negative performance for this Clippers team in terms of their scoring output. This Suns team, with the way that they're playing, they're still liable to drop 120 plus tonight. But my pick in this game is under. I got 224, but I still like the under 223.5. When you look at the interior resistance that the Phoenix Suns are able to provide with DeAndre Ayton, with Bismack Biyombo, who's going to have a signature moment in the playoffs. I'm calling it right now. And JaVale McGee, who looks like a brand new guy in Phoenix. He's happy. He's enjoying basketball. I think that we're going to have a grounding performance tonight. You know, this team, when you hear the way that they talk after games, they still get pissed off when their opponents score 100 points. I'm telling you, they still get pissed off when their opponents score 100 points. But this Clippers team has motivation to get back to 500. We have to give Ty Lue some respect. Ty Lue has this team in contention for a play-in spot. I won't be surprised if they are in the play-in tournament. With injuries, with so many different lineups, the Clippers are top 5 in the NBA in terms of the amount of lineups that they put forth. In terms of the amount of lineups that they put forth, let me just pull up the ATS data for everyone. But my pick in this game, I'll just get back to it. We're going to have a signature defensive performance from the Phoenix Suns today, under 224, under 223.5, depending on what book you are using. And a prop that I'm going to add, they're getting sneaky with this guy. If he plays today, if they offer the market, I'm going to take Cam Johnson over on his three-pointer prop tonight. It's Cam Johnson day. Cam Johnson day. I do want to say Cam Johnson, for me personally, has turned into the new Desmond Bane for me. I've won like 5 straight Cam Johnson props on his three-pointers over, but timing is everything. I will probably sprinkle his over 3.5. No, I'm not going to say that just yet. I'm going to take his over 2.5 off the bench. I have to assess the odds for this one, but Cam Johnson over on his three-point prop, depending on the odds, is a go, and I'm taking the under in this game. I will recap my bets for tonight. Suns should take them to Smack City, Jay, and maybe keep them under 100. I know that that's a bit of a tougher projection because the Clippers are, they have ticked upward just a bit, but hey, I think the Suns are going to cover. I think that this game's going to go under, and I think Cam Johnson is going to go over his three-point prop tonight. Let's see how it goes. The Clippers just cannot mess with the Suns, and best of luck to all Suns spread bettors. Let's see if that's a late addition for me. Just want to make sure we don't get any funny business, but I think this team's going to take them out tonight. It does bode well for these guys tonight. Let's see. So if you guys can hit the like button, I will recap my picks for today. And as always, follow NBA Betting Today and SportX Project on Twitter And follow SportX Project in particular on Twitter if you're a fan of other sports as well, sharing market information, spread information for other sports. Going to be jumping into the Champions League soccer round of 16 just right after this live stream, trying to cap the matches for this afternoon. And also hit like on the video, subscribe to the video if you enjoy the content. We'll try to have another session later, but if not, if I don't have time, I do have plans in the afternoon. But hit the like button. I will share my props on Twitter as well. I'm talking really, really fast. Apologies. So I've got the Philadelphia 76ers plus 2.5. I have apologies. I lean Mavs, but Jimmy, there's a lot of injury report stuff in that game. The Heat Mavs game, another playoff atmosphere type game between the Mavs and the Heat. Jimmy Butler is questionable in that game. Let's see how it goes throughout the day as we get more information on that injury. But I have the Philadelphia 76ers plus 2.5. I have the over between the 76ers and the Boston Celtics at 210. It's dipped. I bought when it dipped over 210. I have a small bet on the under 245 between the T-Wolves and the Hornets, the under 245. And I have the Clippers and the Suns under 224. Props that I like today, but I will share when I actually put money on them. I'm going to run it back with D'Angelo Russell's assists. I'm going to decide on taking LaMelo Ball's assists over, but I know I'm going to end up taking Kevin Love over on his three-point total and Cam Johnson over on his three-point total. These guys are very strong in bounce-back spots, and I have high confidence in both Kevin Love and Cam Johnson today. That was NBA Betting Today live stream. Much love to everyone in the chat. I appreciate you guys watching the live stream, hearing my thoughts. And I know you guys are real basketball fans. I can just tell, real basketball fans. Let's keep it going all the way to the finals, all the way through the end of the season. Jay Money in the chat. We'll be watching the live stream, bro. Hope you feel a lot better. King Dre, Jay, John. I see everyone. C. Martin, No Cap, Sparks, Mr. Austin, Eric, Us Gooners TV. Arsenal's in the building, bro, from UK. Straight out of London. Time to eat lunch, everyone. Enjoy your day. Lots of bets. My money's spread out today. Hopefully we come out on top. Any profit is good profit. See you guys next time.